Hey Hannah, I've seen parents follow you. I've been following from afar. I've waited to hear you talk of sleepovers to no avail. Last year, April, my second born, who was 13 years old, he's small-bodied, he looks 10 years old, insisted on joining his friends for a sleepover in one of his friends' home. Initially, I had refused, then accepted because I saw him balancing tears, saying we rarely let him do what he wanted. I dropped him myself. I had mingled with his friend's dad, the one hosting the sleepover, and from how he spoke of his wife and kids, I assumed he had a very decent family. He was dropped back without us being informed. After church, we found him outside with no key and he wasn't talking much. He walked in a strange way and he went straight to get ice cubes. He then locked himself in the bedroom he shared with his brother. I knocked. Took him a whole 25 minutes to open. When he stood before me, I could tell where the ice cubes were put. I asked him what was wrong. He was shaking and looked mad, but with tears rolling down his cheeks. I asked him to undress. He refused. I wanted to walk away, but something told me to undress him by force. And yes, I may not know much about many things, but yes, his anus had been tampered with. I took him to the hospital and he had refused to go. My wife had to drive as I held him at the back seat to make sure he sat still. All through, he was fighting me. We reached the hospital. He refused to remove his clothes. For a checkup, I did it by force. Yes, it was confirmed that my boy was sodomized. I'm guessing they were getting rid of the evidence as there were traces of powdered detergent. I reported the matter to a police station. I started paying cops to investigate. The more I paid, the more cash they wanted, and cash I gave. I tried to contact neighbors, leaving my number with the watchman, trying to get intel of the family, and called other parents to confirm if this had happened to their kids. At the time, it did not hit me that in the process of trying, I'm guessing he meant process, of trying to get intel, I'm exposing to everyone that my 13-year-old was sodomized. He started getting messages on WhatsApp and Instagram from former classmates telling him how sorry they were. My son lost it, broke his phone. To date, he has no phone and doesn't want one. My wife and I received nasty messages on FB pseudos were claiming that our son liked it. Hannah, we were losing it on the daily. He has tried to commit suicide thrice. I continued reaching out to parents as I was desperate. I will never forget one time my son knelt down and begged me to let this issue go. He was crying like a child, accusing me of exposed him to the world and that I should stop. It hit me that talking to my wife about how justice is hard to get in this country, he was listening. My boy is not the same from last year. The son I dropped to that sleepover and the son in my house are two different people. He's now timid and being around people makes him uncomfortable. He barely looks at people. He's easily triggered. I can't also fail to notice how he no longer looks at anyone in the eye and now prefers to look at his feet when he is speaking, and he speaks in a very low tone. He's no longer stylish as before and will do anything to not get noticed. We have tried therapy, but he still doesn't talk about what happened. I will remain silent for now to keep him sane. I'm not okay. The siblings are not okay. Let's not even talk about my wife. She was fired. I've been frustrated in this town while trying to get justice for my boy. Even cops coming to get me at work, claiming I'm a suspect in a murder case. Hana, mnasemanga kuna haki Kenya. I remember one cop asked me, boss, si wachane tu na hii story, ipotele. Wachana na hii maneno, si mtoto alipona? The story changed me. Friends avoid me, family want nothing to do with us, and savings depleted when I was up and down trying to buy justice. First days, he claimed he remembered his friend's mom waking him up in a different bedroom than his friends. She dropped him home. He can't remember anything else. Was he drugged? Most probably. I silently blame myself for all this, that my son balancing his tears made me say yes to what changed our lives for the worst. So you saying you are a mom, allow me to give you advice. Say no to sleepovers. However, I've met parents whose kids were sodomized and later they committed suicide. I may have lost my mind for a good 6 months and depleted my savings, but my son is with me. I met strangers we share a common sorrow with, and they are now what I call friends. Apparently, the businessmen and women doing this business have families of their own. They are people you can't suspect. It is said that they record and sell the tapes. Every day I wonder if they recorded my boy. If they did, I wake up each morning and wonder if it's the day his video will leak. My story is long and sad, but we are healing. One of his neighbors reached out in January and he was very discreet. He said he knew his neighbor and his neighbor had weird business. He didn't give me much, just told me to let the issue rest. He kept saying it's bigger than him and those involved have money. And his neighbor had a fetish of seeing men defecate. He also mentioned some of his neighbors were not honest as their sons had gone through the same, as one almost shot the man one time. Not sure why they never reached out to me, and the ones that did warned me about involving them. I respect marijuana sellers more than these men that look decent, but the fact that my boy can't remember anything leaves the case open. I don't know what more to say. Thank you for airing the negatives that people sweep under the rug.
So tumefika kwa ile point where if you have money, okay, I know money talks, yes, money is everything, money is power, but
to what extent?
To what extent?
Do we throw away humanity just because
of money? Because until those, tuseme tu for example, those cops, if their children were done the same thing, will they take the bribe? No. But because it's not their sons, tukue tu na utu.
And imagine, whenever I hear such cases, I normally ask myself, how many of such cases have gone unheard and they didn't make it to social media, but they didn't get justice?
Yes.
If we ever see something trending, it's because it's something
it's
in the
been
community.
Happening in the community. Now, imetokelezea tuna bado hawajapata justice. Imagine how many others.
He has said to us the end, because that's a man who has submitted the case.
Sorry.
He has said to us the end that other parents have gone through this, their children have gone through this. Now the children committed suicide. So this one is thankful that the child is still alive with him.
To what point?
But remember, this boy
bado ako traumatized.
I think himself.
He's no longer himself anymore. So maybe atagoja tu ile point one day, one time, nijipate tu niko peke yangu alafu kinipate tu, I'm done. Because do you know how suicide comes in? I told you I tried suicidal one day, yeah? I was suicidal. And I didn't know how I got to that kit. I didn't know how I got to that point. Nilijipata tu. So seti ati unakwanga umepanga ati leo nagoja kila mtu atoke ndio nijiue. No. Seti unagoja ati kila mtu atoke ndio niakishe gas nilipuke.
The thought just creeps in.
Yes. And you are totally not in control of yourself. You are not.
You can't tell yourself, no, this is wrong.
Kinakubeba inakwambia do it. You won't even know how you did it. Utajipata tu haya. I did it.
So my question is for parents who are raising children, who are raising teenagers. Teenagers that can ask you to go out for sleepovers. As parents, you want to give your children the best.
Yes.
You want your children to interact with other people, make friends, go out with their friends, and just live a wholesome life. So you see, this dad agreed to the sleepover because his child, his son, was balancing tears and even asked him, why don't you ever allow me to do things that I like?
Yes.
So at this point, he was like, by the way,
he was overprotective already, but just this one time,
the time he let his guard down,
example.
The time he let his guard down, the worst happened.
Yes.
And we can't blame the parent, we can't blame the boy. But my question is, in such a situation, I, Lydia, gave my child to you, G.
Yes.
Wakam,
with trust.
With trust. Knowing that you also have children.
Yes.
So the trust is
na ni watoto wanafanya tufanye hivi. Not that we know each other.
So he said he interacted with the dad.
Akipeleka mtoto.
No, he has interacted with the dad before. That's what he said.
Yeah, and
so it's someone he knew kidogo.
Yes.
I've entrusted my child with you.
With you. In your
I'm expecting when my child is in your home or your child is in my home, we both give them the best parenting.
Yes.
Imagine your child being returned without you knowing. Number one, the guy drove the child to this home na akamuhand over to an adult. But the boy was brought back, alingojea alimkuta kwa gates wakitoka church. Number one,
0.
Number 2, mtoto wako amerudi and the life has turned. Not okay. The life has literally turned around.
Because he's not laughing anymore. He's not even excited about from where he's coming from. Like you think, how was it? How was the party? How was the...
whenever they go to these children, to these sleepovers, they're so excited. Sometimes they don't even want to come back. That is the hype you
mpaka wazazi wanapigana nasema haya watoto ni kama wacha tu we take it another night. And you guys are okay sawa.
Because it's Sunday anaweza come. Baadaye jioni ama Monday.
Hata ni holiday, tuseme tu ni holiday. You know? Because they usually alternate. Like wiki ni yako leo, wiki ni yangu leo, wiki ni ya huyu leo. Before wafungue shule, wote washa nini? They go for swimming together, they go for whatever together, they go for parking together, they go for night outs together, sleepover together.
And imagine because this boy cannot remember what happened. He only remembers someone waking him up in the morning, in the night,
Yes.
and in the morning he woke up.
Yes.
The way he woke up.
But he did everything. He was done whatever it was done.
So most definitely he was drugged.
Yes. Now, according to the video, hata vile wanaambiwa, oh, he liked it. Oh, because again, it's even hard to use the F word. Yeah. Mtu amelala. Yeah. Tuseme tu hata wewe nimekudrag umelala. Even if I want to access your buttocks, siwezi kama umelala. So one way or the other, whatever the drug was, ni ile drug si ya kulalisha mtu.
Ni ya kukunock off.
Ni ya kunock off. You are not yourself, but I can tell you to do right, you do right. I tell you to jump, jump. I tell you to sleep, bend over, bend over. So it's the kind of drug.
And the fact that they tried to get rid of the DNA
They even have a video.
DNA evidence and washed him with Omo,
Detergent, yeah.
powder detergent. And also, you don't know if, because we have had these cases even in movies and even in real life where people sell children pornography to get money. Imagine this dad or these parents, they don't know whether there will come a day their son's video will trend somewhere.
Yeah, ameshikilia tu hivi.
Because you don't know what they did. Yes, they sodomized your child, but you don't know the reasons.
Yes.
Was it maybe someone is just a pedophile and just is looking for pleasure, or is it business?
Business. I think more of business. For them, it's more of business. Because if they recorded and they sell these tapes out there, it's actually what is feeding them. They feed from the tapes.
I can only imagine what this family has gone through. Imagine losing, the wife lost her job because she couldn't take it anymore. They have lost their savings. They have lost their friends. They have lost the family. Some of the family members are not talking to them.
Yes, because of the same.
And they tried to get justice. Umetumia do zako ukitry kupea police wa follow up on the case. Receive threats. Police amekwambia chana na hii kesi because they have received threats that they are involved in a murder case
because
just to trend
to be so that they can be shut down.
Me, I feel like if I was the father, I would have exposed that family, given the names, given the pictures and everything, and even if they come at me in any way, the story would be out there. Whether you take precaution, whether it is followed up, I don't care.
But you see, to a point that like umesikia there was a child who tried to shoot the guy. Where did the case go? Kwani how powerful are these people that they do this to people's children and they still get away with this? It means they are super powerful. To a point that all the neighbors wote wameshatiwa down na wanajua watoto wao pia wamefanyiwa the same thing.
But why do people
It's only that now in this time it was this child's time. But
to be done but this family does that.
They do that.
And you see even this the children from this family they go ahead and threaten this boy with messages to a point that he breaks his phone that you enjoyed it.
Yes,
what do you mean? Does it mean the children are also involved in this act? Is it a whole family thing, including the children?
It's a family thing because for your kids to come and tell me and convince my kids to kuje kwenu, you get? Because after kuja kwenu tucheze, tumecheza saa ngapi kama mlini drug saa 2 na nimeamka asubuhi mmenifanyia maondo alafu mmekani drop kwetu. Tumecheza saa ngapi na watoto wenu? You get?
This now leads us to the next question. How many children have lost their virginity through rape, and how many children have been sodomized by the house girls,
house helps,
by the family members, neighbors, teachers, fellow pupils,
those sleepovers, all over.
Let us listen to this, another part 2 of the same story, so that we can understand maybe even a broader perspective of the raping and sodomization that goes through these cases. My God, I can't even believe you're sitting down and discussing this. It is so disgusting. Children should be safe.
Yes.
Like, anyway, let's go through it.
So this story was sent Jana. It has a bit of what we're discussing, which is sleepover, but it also has a lot of homosexuality. Not a lot. Well, it has a bit of that. So listen to this. Hey Hannah, please hide my ID. Been following for a while, and the homosexual topic, I wish we can discuss it as parents. I once walked in on my then Form 1 son kissing our other son's friend who had come for a sleepover. Hannah, imagine a Form 1 kissing a Class 4. I almost lost it. I called my husband and he beat him seriously. We waited for the boy's parent to come harass us, but they never came. Guessing he never told his parents. It has reached a point where we avoid gathering as he has no manners. I'm telling you, Hannah, he kissed his own cousin who was in Class 6. It was chaotic as the mom summoned us asking why our, at the time, Form 3 son would kiss his Class 6 cousin kwa mdomo by force. Hannah, my marriage is not same. My husband lost weight. I have blood pressure. He is in campus, and as we speak, he uploads on his WhatsApp for everyone to see his boyfriend. His profile pic is rainbow. His status are about gay rights. Relatives, neighbors, friends, everybody knows. We don't know what to do. Not sure where we went wrong. After reading the screenshot you posted, I've realized I'm not alone. We are suffering. Please hide ID.
There you go.
Again, now it's children versus children.
Yes. So,
Again, another sleepover. You think you've taken your child to a sleepover, to their cousin, to their friend, and they start getting exposed to things they have never seen or they don't know that exists.
Yeah.
So that's why we are saying from the previous first story,
Yes.
that this family that sodomized this boy, it's as if the children are also involved.
Yes. Yes, and it's not just, some of these things, let's just not say it is gonna happen huko kwa neighbors ama outside there when they're, no. These things are even happening in our own roofs if we are not careful. Because unatasema, oh, that's why atinatakanga mtoto aende boarding school. That's why it's happening. Because who is in the dorm to check on these kids when the lights are off? Higher. Don't take your kids to boarding school. Let's do day scholars. The distance between your house and where the school is, the distance between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. when your child is coming back home, you're not with your kid. There's a lot that is
Even
happening.
if you're with
There's
your
no
kid.
CCTVs in the washrooms in the schools. Watoto watapatana huko, watatimbiana tu. Wataenda kupatana washrooms in school.
And you know kids
When you
are
think
sneaking.
they are sneaky, by the way. When you're bringing these kids for sleepovers, atini kwako. Okay, maybe those are just those kind of parents. Tuseme tu ni wewe. Hata wao watakuja tu kwako, but if you're not careful in your own bedrooms, it can still happen.
But you see, Gigi, what careful? How, to what extent can you be careful? You have children, Gigi,
Yes,
right?
yes, I do.
They have their cousins because of their aunts and their uncles. You've taken your children to the sleepover with their cousins.
Yes.
Ama, your children's cousins have come to the house. One of the kid is behaving like this.
Yeah.
In your mind, don't you think like this is the safest place for your children and the children of your sister or brother?
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. You cannot be careful. You don't know what is happening.
I think the only way to be careful is by talking to these kids as early as by the time you guys can converse. See ile tantrum.
Right,
Hi,
right.
let's try to teach them self-care, number one. Let's try to teach them that you touching my private part, the only person who is allowed to touch my private part is either a doctor, and only when my parent is
In the room.
physical and in the room. Yeah, or only my mom or my dad, not even the house girls.
You see, have you heard of those cases where parents sodomize or rape their own children?
Yes, I have.
That's what I'm saying. There's no amount of care you can take
the safest place.
to
There's no
avoid.
safe place.
There is no safe. You can only, I don't know, you can only pray to God to keep your children safe. You can only do your best to bring strictness. You see, like the first story where the dad was so strict about sleepovers, like there's no sleepovers until the child begged him, baby, dad, you don't allow me to do things that I like with my friends. He succumbed to it. I think we have to bring back the strictness.
Ya
kitambo. Like no eating in people's houses.
Yes.
No sleepovers, no interaction. But
Munaenda mnacheza, lakini time ya lunch ikifika, you know where your house is.
higher.
But
If we say that, how many cases have we seen house girls have sodomized or raped children?
But at least with the house helps, you can have CCTVs in the house.
Haya, umekuta kwa CCTV mtoto wako alirepiwa na house girl.
I think, okay, if you ask me, honestly speaking, let's just teach these kids, both in school and both at home,
to speak up.
Yeah, to speak up.
Because
when ukiguzwa tu hivi kidogo, ukiguzwa tu nyonyo tu kidogo hivi, ujue that is a wrong move. Hata kama ni mtu hata kwa matatu wanaume wanajifanyanga vile mumefinyana hapo wako tu hivi. You think we don't know?
We know.
Yeah, na mtu mjanja atasema by the way remove your hand. Ama usonge mbele akae nyuma. You get? Tao mkipitana utapata tu mtu anakunini hivi ama anakuchuna nyuma just because there's traffic on the pathway. Yeah? So the same way, let's teach, when you've done something wrong, utajua this is wrong. Let's teach these kids from school and from home. Tuwafunze tujue ni wakange wakijua, nobody should touch this apart from me, my mom and a doctor, and only when
my mom is
my parent is
around.
there.
I also think,
and then to speak out. To speak out. And then also one thing we have a problem and with the now parents with this generation,
parenting,
yes, is that mtoto atakuja anataka kuongea, unaona tu vizuri sana mtoto anataka kuongea na bado tunamwambia wewe enda ulale. Hadi nini unanisumbua? And maybe the baby just wants to get that closure, apate hiyo comfort ndio aweze kuambia by the way this is what happened in school. Like for example, I'll give a scenario with my kids. Wakitoka shule, like today I'm not there when they came from school, yeah? But if I'm in the house, hata umesikia vitu vile nimeuliza, how are they? Wako sawa. If I'm in the house, I'm like, how was school today? Are they okay? And I also take turns when it comes to showering them. Like usiachie nannies everything. Ati wao ndio anawaosha from Monday to Monday. Nini. Like get time as a parent to bond
time
with your kids. Yeah? Like muoshe vizuri, have that dara weekly clean. Yeah? Osha mtoto vizuri, massage her or him, mpake mafuta vizuri, amefikisha wapi kujiosha, because me my kids wanajioshanga. Like I usually tell them wanajua kujiosha, so waoshe. And then after washajiosha, now the nanny comes in and like anawaangalia ni wapi hawajafikia, kama ni mgongo, masikio, kichwa, mguu, yani those nini. But when it comes to the private parts, they clean themselves. And I've taught them how to do it. You see? So then I'm also in the process where I tell them, this is my private part. Even when you're dressing up, close the door, close your bedroom. It's you and your brother, I have 2 boys, yeah? Close your bedroom. Decide which clothes you want to wear, they choose which clothes to wear. Yeah? Valiene. They know how to wear their boxers, they know how to wear their vests, they know how to wear everything. Wakishindwa, I am here. But first, this is your private part. Nobody should touch your bam bam. Nobody should touch your... Yeah? Yes. Okay, they don't know it's wanasemanga nunu. Yeah? So nobody should touch it apart from you yourself when you're washing it or when you're in the toilet, a doctor, which we rarely go, or your dad or me. Yeah? So let's teach these kids how to handle their own body and also to speak up. If they sense kakitu tu, they need to speak up to someone, either in school ama kwa mom. But let's not, even in school as teachers, tusikue na ile ya unaona mtoto anajaribu kukaribia, but you're like enda cheza na watoto wengine,
you just dismiss
na maybe watoto wengine ndio wanamkosea
and they want to share with you.
Yes. Even if like kama saizi siko vile watoto wametoka shule, kesho asubuhi if at all I get home late, obviously siwezi enda kuamsha. But of course nitachungulia wamelala vizuri, wako sawa, they've showered, they're clean. Yeah? In the morning, my kids don't go to school without me talking to them. Ever. I don't remember any day watoto as long as they're in my roof. Asubuhi before watoke, they have to come to my bedroom. Hi mommy, good morning mommy. Yeah? This is what how was school yesterday, because maybe I was not there yesterday. Yeah? How was school yesterday? It was good. What did you eat in school? Yeah? Anything happened? Did anyone touch you? No. Are you okay? Sometimes I even like,
to see how they react.
And I'm a jump, bend. Able to walk, I see. Without me having to show them at kuna kitu najaribu kuinvestigate. Nile tu let's walk. Sometimes I can even walk them to the school bus. Watalemke stairs, wapande stairs, nione vile wana hivyo. So it's more of us engaging to these kids and giving them the space and the time. Then because mtoto, by the way, a baby can sit there and they can read your vibe. So kama uko na vibe mbaya, ataenda kujifungia huko. Ataenda tu. The same way wanajuanga mom na dad leo hawako sawa. Na ataenda shule akiwa amenuna. And then the child will be like, "Madini umenuna? Mommy and daddy." You think these kids don't talk to the teachers? They do. They speak what they see. Yeah? So the child will see. So as long as you're in the house, as a mother, as a dad, let's try to have that homely vibe.
I think the modern parents, they have, whenever they have employed a nanny or a house help, they have left all the work about raising their child to the nanny and the parents, to a point that mimi natafuta pesa sina kulipa, ninanunua chakula ni nini ukosi. They have, most parents, I'm not saying all, most parents especially in these towns, they have neglected time with their children, to bond with their children, to talk to their children, to make friendship with their children, to a point that kazi yote ni kutafuta pesa na kulipa bills na kulipa nannies.
Unapata mtoto alifika 5 years unashindwa guy, we're celebrating 5th year,
alafu ame pick up tabia. It is so late unamzotoa pia tabia. You don't spend time with them.
Like for me, I can tell when my son says something new and I'm like, who taught you that? Like there was a time walikuja nyumbani wakisema shit and I'm like, who taught you that? You know, I'm like, no, see, it's in the cartoon. Then I realized, kumbe, the nanny doesn't filter the kind of cartoons and care. So I had to sit down with her. Yes, because I had a new nanny by then. So I had to sit down with her and nimwambie, these are their cartoons. Yeah, these are their animations. Don't just put any other cartoon for them. So hata mimi tukikaa chini na wao, we watch the same cartoon. And I cannot watch adult movies when you have kids in the living room. Let's avoid that. Yeah, because again utapata tu mtu, or rather when you're watching movies, maybe kanapita tu and then kapatia mtu akikisi mtu mwingine hapo. A man kissing a man, a woman kissing a woman. Now you think kanapita ati kanachukua toy kanaenda. Kameona.
And they think, and since you as the parent, you are watching it, and you're always right, they pick the, kama mama may watch na daddy, then that is right. So a man can kiss a man, a woman can kiss a man. And it's no shame to lesbianism. If that's what you have chose, it's okay. But let us not recruit children. Let us decide if that is the life they want.
It's not like like kama siku hizi nimeona kuna there's a woman who did a tattoo on her kids.
Tattoo.
And I'm like, why would you do a tattoo? What did mtoto agro?
Shisha, alafu
anafanya mtoto hivi.
I was so mad.
Then mwingine akapia sijui mtoto akiwa 1 week mtoto akakatwa masikio.
Due
infection. Can we allow this? Can we allow
children
the old ways? Can we go back to the old ways of raising kids? I'm not saying that we be bitter like our parents were bitter. I'm not saying ati sasa uchape mtoto ati neighbor yako achape mtoto. No. I'm not saying that you be so strict that mpaka mtoto wako hawezi kuface akwambie mashida zake ama whatever they're going through. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is there was an advantage of how our parents raised us. Kitambo that has brought us, and that's why now we can sit down here and compare and say the reasons why these kids are now going through this is because kuna vitu sisi as parents we are not applying that our old mothers and dads used to apply. Mama, we are not.
But then, you know, as a child I didn't know sleepovers are for children.
Una sleepover kwa nani?
Mimi nilikuwa najuanga sleepover ni za watu wazima. Kwanza mimi nimejua sleepover nikiwa mtu mzima. That's why you know, naweza enda kwa rafiki yangu nilale. Mtu atuenda kwenda kulala
kwanza nani? Kuomba ruhusa hiyo, it's a problem on its own.
Hiyo ndio itafanya uchapo. Unaoniomba ruhusa.
Kwa nini huyu? Nini kwa huku kwa upati? Nini hujapopati huku kuna chakula kuna kila. What is there that you're not getting here?
But understand, we want our children to have friends. We want them to bond. We want them out there to have children connection, to have friends and connection and everything. But also as parents, and that is why parents are asked to build a community. Go to school when their parents functions
and functions.
So that you can interact with other parents. If your child has a friend, jirani kwenye mnaishi, can you also get to learn about that family? What are their values? What do they do? Observe tu na akili yako na macho. Wanafanyanga nini? You just don't say you have interacted with someone a few times and then you take your child to sleep over in that house.
And then again with the kids, utapata, kids don't actually even hide, especially these small babies, Utasikia tu kila time, you know, I said hi to Johnson. I said hi, yani utasikia tu Johnson, and then you'll be like, who is Johnson? Na atakwambia, in school, my friend from school. So next time when you go for this meeting,
can you get to learn Johnson?
Who is Johnson? And who is the mother or who is the father? Where do they live? What are their beliefs? Try, as a mother, as a parent. If you cannot get all that information, ask the teacher. I know sometimes inaweza kuwa ni udaku, but again, remember, we are watching out for our kids.
It's all about your kids.
It's all about your kids here. It's all about, because now I'm giving the word Johnson
as an example
because my son atasema, who taught you that name? Because now my son has akona ile nini yake dance ya kusema, oh Jesus, oh my God, oh Jesus, oh my God, anashinda hivyo. So then I'm like, okay, who taught you that? It's Johnson.
Or the friend.
Yeah, the friend. I'm like, no, it's not good to always say that. Okay.
God's name.
Yeah, that's a God's name, and we it's very special. Oh, okay, mommy. And ever since, hajasema hivyo tena. So again, monitor auto tu vitu dogo, the small changes, the small words, like the one for shit. Since your cartoon itolewe, kwanza hata I had now to do a different channel for the kids themselves.
But kuna
Yeah,
unaweza
hakuna
lock
zingine.
kwa YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, kama ni Netflix kuna page yao, you don't
Kids,
click yeah for kids peke yake, na nimewachagulia the kind of movies they're supposed to watch.
Mm.
Yeah, hata kama ni repetition, wacha wa repeat hiyo, but wasiende elsewhere apart from their page.
Aya, now to the second part of this video,
Yeah.
of the story we've had. You already know that your child is behaving in a particular way. Number
Yes.
1, akakiss mtoto wa class 4.
Yes.
Number 2, akakiss cousin yake wa
Cousin
class
yake by
6.
force, yeah.
Number 3, ameanza kupost vitu za gay rights
Akiwa
nini.
college, yeah.
How do you help such a parent? Because I think also like our parents, our age, millennial age, this gayism and lesbianism, it wasn't as out there in the world as it is right now, and they used to hide.
Yes.
And I advocate for everyone's right, but how is a parent who is so traditional mentally, how are they going to handle this situation?
Is there
Because
a
huni
better
mzazi
way?
mwenyewe anaongea about their son and you're like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
I don't think there's a better way apart from sitting the this kid down. Because again, if he's already into it to a point that ana post the
Gay rights.
the rainbow colors,
They know.
alafu mpaka ana show off boyfriend yake, yeah, it means he's already into it.
It's too
deep into it. So the only thing you can do is trust you me as parents, because again when you fight these things, mtoto
When
atakuwa
inakuwa
depressed, when ndio unakuwa hurt.
No, even the
Yeah,
I don't
the
think
fact that hata kokole, it means he has already made up his mind.
and he's
This
free.
is my path, and he's free doing it. The point that mpaka anaweka kwa status ndio muone, that's a message to you that you know what guys, mom
This
and
is
dad,
who I am.
this is who I am.
Because kama
And
angetaka
I cannot
wazazi
help
waone,
it.
angewa block kwa WhatsApp.
Thank you.
Because
Which
some
most of them do. But sasa hata hafichi, it's out there.
He doesn't care.
Yes, he doesn't care. So again, the best thing you can do as a parent, and I'm not saying that you should support this, but what I'm saying, for the sake of mom, dad,
Sanity.
son connection, sit down with your son, sit down with your girl, mwambie, you know what, tell us, how did it start? Because maybe hata alisodomaiziwa na hakuongea just the same. Maybe it's the same case repeating itself. Na akajipata sasa maybe alipenda kuliko kufa. Maybe alipenda what he was done. Because remember, he's posting the boyfriend, meaning it's a she now. Amekuwa she. You get?
God.
You get? So akona boyfriend mahali. Meaning maybe something happened you didn't know. You didn't give him the chance to talk. But now the only thing you can do is sit down with him and be, by the way, we accept what you're saying. We're not here against you. We are not here to, we just want the best for you. But as you have, as much as you've chosen this path, can you tell us, how did it start?
And also, can you do it the
Ulianza
right way? Don't like do it to your cousins. Don't do it to your family members. Do to people that are willing to do it.
Yes. Na najua tumekufight so many times. Najua tumekufanya vitu mingi sana, and we apologize. But can you let us, between which class, between what age did you start feeling otherwise, or what happened so that you chose this path? Because you have been raised by a mom and a dad.
Yeah. Why
So
did you pick it?
where did you pick the other path? Why? So it means there's a gap. You understand? There's a gap in between. There must be a gap. Kuna kitu tu, something just detached itself from the parents and the son. Yeah. So the only thing you can do is sit down, mwambie, we are here to support you. We are here to but supporting in terms of your security, your love, your mental. Yeah. I'm not saying if you're traditional artist, you should go supporting every gayism and whatever. No. I'm not saying
Just
that.
support your child.
Yeah, just support your child. So
and you
that
don't even have to understand it.
usifanye akuwe asiji-isolate, and then it leads to depression just because he's not accepted by your parents and he's not being accepted in the community, alafu he end up amejua. Which one would you rather? Would you rather lose a son, or would you rather accept the son as he is but still guide him on the right society,
the right path.
the right path,
But you see, Gigi,
and support?
I'm still on the first case where imagine a police who you have paid so much to follow up on a case that your child has been sodomized, to a point wanakuambia let go of this case. Does it mean yani Kenyan justice ilishanga?
Yes.
It is who has
money
the
talks.
Justice is served to the highest bidder.
Yes. Because clearly, even if the neighbors wamenyamazishwa wote, then it simply means this family number one is dangerous.
If they
Very dangerous. Very dangerous. To a point that even this boy begged the dad akamwambia, let this case go. Inamaanisha hata yeye kuna mahali amepatana nao na akaambiwa ambia baba yako akiongea.
No, the dad, I think the son is acting from a point of shame and fear. Like
Yes.
whatever was done to them is very shameful, and then they fear like he accepted that to be done to him, and then how the other children are reacting when I'm texting,
Yes.
you enjoyed.
Yeah, you
So like
enjoyed
he's feeling like I'm not supposed to complain if my friends think I enjoyed it, and even whatever was done to him,
You don't
it's
even
shameful.
remember, yeah.
They don't remember. It's painful. It's
Yes.
shameful. They don't know if that thing can happen. So our Kenyan justice, no wonder
Hakuna.
tuna shout end femicide,
Yeah, but
end
nothing
rape,
is happening.
end pedophiling, and it's
Yeah.
fuck, it's messed up.
sad.
It's messed up.
Yes, and it's
So
very,
all we
very
are saying
sad.
as parents, take care of your children, listen to your children, observe your children,
Yes.
make time to bond with your children. Say to umeandika house girl, umelipa school fees. Now other people are in charge of raising your child. No, take time to speak to your child every day. Make friends with them. Nowadays,
Yes.
I think the best parenting nowadays is making friends with your child.
Yes.
Just don't give up the position of a parent, but also learn to listen to them, learn to laugh with them, so that whenever they have a problem, they can always come back to you and tell you, Mommy, someone touched me, Daddy, someone did this and this to me. So that they already know they can find friendship in
Yeah,
you.
they
So
can
that when you
trust you.
discipline them,
Yes.
they know my mom and dad, they're always right, they always do the right thing.
Yes.
So I have to understand that hapa nilifanya makosa, and that's why I'm getting disciplined.
And then again, also when we are dealing, for example, tuseme kama vile they realize that he was abused, like isikuwe ni kama now you go talking to everyone. Like we've already learned from this case that
But he was seeking help.
I know, I get it. But now you see kuna wengine like nitakuja nikwambia mam, nilishikwa hapa na nani. Then you start panicking. Then you start like
Kila mtu akikuja kwa nyumba.
You've gone wild to a point that nani walimshika nini na maybe alikuja tu kukwambia because hata yeye mwenyewe hataki hizo chaos.
Anataka umfiche.
Yeah, for example tuseme we in school, yeah? Nikuje you my mom, nikuje nikwambie Aki, imagine Kevin tulikuwa naenda toilet tukapatana mahali kwa kona, and then there's this boy alianza kunishika matiti, nikampush alafu ndio nikakimbia class. You as my mom nimekuja nikakwambia, there's one mom mwenye ataenda afuatilie hiyo kesi chini ya maji, and the boy will be sat down and be talked to. Yeah, kama ni kupanishwa, kama ni mtu akona mtu punishable, like kama mtu wa form 2 form 3, that's a punishable boy. Yeah, apanishiwe or something, yeah, or talk to them, get to know, because hata wengine wanakuja kushikashika watu, not wengine that they are not even themselves. It's something that is also triggering. Maybe watch porn, maybe watch my movies, maybe anasikianga mamake na babake kwa nyumba, maybe aliona tu mahali akaona wasichana boobs ni za kushikwa, bambam ni ya kuspankiwa, lips ni za kukisiwa. You get? So these boys also at the adolescent age, they are exploring, and they also want kuna hiyo urge. We've all gone through that space, yeah? Kuna hiyo urge, especially boys. They're like, alafu atashinda akiambia usiwe guza msichana, mbona hamumwambii kwa nini asiguze msichana?
I think parents hide so much details when it comes to advising your child.
Exactly.
Just
Talk
tell them
about
as
sex,
it is, because
talk
whenever
about
they are
abuse.
watching in the movie or in their phones, hizo simu zenye mumewanunulia,
Yes.
there is no filter.
There's no filter.
They see it as it is.
Yes.
So why are you advising with filter? If this is a penis,
Yes.
and it's not
Say
supposed to be,
penis.
it's a penis. Why are you calling nunu sijui? Just I think hii generation ya sahi, you have to go all in with the truth.
Yes, yes.
Because if you try
The
to
way it
filter,
is, black and
they will
white.
get this information from the neighbor's child, from school, from the internet, and trust you me, it is not filtered.
Yes, it's not filtered.
You're the
It's
only one
not-
who is
we're not
filtering the
gonna filter.
information.
Yes, and again, we are filtering because also where we are coming from, it was filtered. We had to learn the hard way ourselves. So hata unasikia uchungu.
I saw a video yesterday somewhere on TikTok. Ati I can't believe mama yangu alikuwa anaita pads mkate.
You see?
Ati mom,
So why would you call
nimemaliza mkate. Mom, naona. You know, you're seeing message.
Yeah.
Mom, naona nahitaji
Nataka
mkate. Like even
Say
calling
it as it
calling
is.
sanitary towels pads or as their name, why were they filtering it too much? Now unfortunately this generation doesn't deserve. We
can't do filtering anymore.
You can't, because
Say
they
it
will
as
get
it
this
is.
information.
Say it as it, because as sisi tunajielewa, because where we're also coming from, it's the same. It was filtered, so now we are wondering.
It was filtered across all the community, across all family, everywhere.
About sex, so am I supposed to talk to my son or my daughter about sex? Unamtumia ka video, unamwambia watch your video. Ama anaita auntie, unapata uko umekewa mkutano ya aunties hapo, lakini mamako hayuko, ama ako lakini amekaa hivi. manti wako ndio
Ama
wanakuongelesha.
naambie maanko na manti wakuongeleshe.
Ama anasema kuna reproduction topic in class 6 ama grade 6 ama whatever grade it is, mtasoma, endeni shule mtasoma.
Alafu umesahau
Is that
umembaia
enough?
simu.
Is that enough?
Umemsahau umembaia simu.
Umembaia simu.
Siku hizi wanafanya TikTok.
Holiday ndio hiyo, TV full, umemwekea Netflix, umemwekea Showmax, umemwekea all sort of stuff. Umemwekea YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, this I don't think. Also I just said I don't think there is enough taking care or enough care that can prevent some of these things happening, because as we can see from the first story, you have raised your child up to 13 years.
Yes.
They have never gone to a sleepover.
Yes.
You've never exposed them to such things.
Yeah.
And now you think like
This one
a
time.
sleepover is harmless and they have begged for it, and because you want your child to feel good, you want them to bond with their friends,
Yes.
you've let down your guard.
Yeah.
Then it just happens once and it turns the life around. Number 2, the second story. Your own child, kazini yake kwa bedroom anamkiss. So I don't think there is amount of taking care. I only think that it will depend on how much you want to speak to your children, the kind of words you use, the kind of exposure, the tune of it.
Because again, and then again, mi usema, in such lessons, let's learn how to learn. Let's unlearn and learn. Because again, these things are not just happening at for us to watch tu na bado tuendelee kupeana watoto wetu, tuendelee tu kufanya vitu.
It should change our lives and beliefs and
it should change our beliefs. It should change the fact that si kila parent is like you. I'm a parent, but not every parent is like me. Not every parent would take a baby in na amtreat vile na treat watoto wangu.
True.
Not every aunt utapeleka mtoto wake na treatiwe the same as you treat them. Mwingine atatitiwa kama house girl, mwingine agongo, mwingine afungiwe, and then but because ni watoto na ni auntie yake, atakuja tu home and he will not say anything. Yeah, so let's just be keen, let's be open-minded and know that not every parent is like you. Not every father is like you as a father. Because utapeleka msichana wako kwa another sleepover and then mama yao watoke and then he's left with a dad that you don't know, who is supposed to be an uncle or another sibling who is older or something, and then what happens?
Nasema most of the time some of this virginity, most people have lost virginity through their family members, through being raped, being through sodomized. If people would just decide to talk about it, sidhani kama tunaweza angalia the world as we look at it. And also these people we call family members. Family,
yes. And it's high time we keep our things to ourselves. I mean, as much as you want, and come on, like the way nilikuwa nimekwambia, afadhali nizalilie watoto wangu, nionange ni wao tu wanacheza, they're keeping each other company in the house.
They're each other's friends.
They're each other's friends, they're each other's company, they're each other's, you know, than kupelekanga watoto huko and then you actually even have no idea what's going on. Yeah, I would also recommend, if you're taking your kids out, tuseme kama ni sleepover, like you guys can come, maybe you're a parent, I'm a parent, yeah, tupatane tu siku moja, tuseme wacha tuwapeleke out sisi wote, na out ni place tunaona wana slide, wana swim, kuna bouncing castle, kuna everything.
So you're taking time to bond with the parent first.
Yes. Watoto wakicheza huko because wao washajuana from school, from classes, from everywhere, from whatever class or kwenye wamepatana. Sisi tukae hapa and we are like, okay, so what does John do? What does John like? And you're like, what does Christine like? What does Tina like? What does, what does
these rich
Emily
people
like?
that you never know what they do for a living.
Yeah.
Because I believe that guy, that baby, it was recorded and sold somewhere.
Yes.
And these are the family. Actually, our family is private. Our business is private. No, we don't do online.
Yeah. So again, I think I would recommend more of, if you guys want to, like, for your kids to spend time together, hata sisi tuende. Na kama you're not available, it's fine. I will take the kids, but not indoors.
Outdoors.
Let's go outdoors. Kama ni pizza mnataka, kerende mzima ya 13 people, ende nimkule ni pizza hapo tumewanunulia. Yeah. You guys want to go swim, pay for swimming, kila mtu wa swim, nikiwaona. If you're not available, at least let's have this one parent, but not indoors. Wacha watoto wa bond uko nje when the activities.
Ama before you take it indoors, can you, as the parents, be friends first? Kabisa, take your time to learn someone, where they work, what they do. Hata wewe mwenyewe ukusha ingia kwa hiyo nyumba.
And let's not just have two parents.
Because I think
na wengine pia.
Because
let's be available for our kids.
The more you try to get close to someone, and then maybe they had planned to do something to you, wataona huyu ametujua sana, tusifanyie huyo wa huyo hivyo, ametujua sana atatu expose. But you just want to give your child to strangers
just because your son is
hii kutafuta pesa hata inanga mwisho. Kwanza hii pesa watafutanga hata ina limit. Ujui kama unafaa kutafuta 1 billion, ukishapata 1 billion unataka pesa nyingine. So can you also balance your parenthood and your friendships and your get to learn people that are around your child, especially in the house, like the nanny, his friends, parents, your neighbors, so that ukiambia mtoto wako hapo kwa kina John, parents John, you know how strict they are, their values, hata huyo nani wako kwa kina John, like mtoto wako kwenye yako ako sawa na ako na kina nani, na kama in case of anything you know who to ask, where to question, you know where to go. Because kwa comment section nilikuwa nasema watu walikuwa nasema I think it's high time parents buy guns and then umeenda umeua mtu and then utakuwa charged with murder, utaacha mtoto wako bila wazazi. Hiyo kenye ulikuwa unajaribu
streets and then grow a different human nation. So anyway, like let's just be on toes. That's what I would say. As parents, let's just be on toes. Teach your kids the right thing as it is. Do not filter. And I repeat, let's not filter. Say it as it is. If it's red, say it's red. If it's white, say it's white. Let's not filter these things anymore. There's nothing to filter in this generation. Mkate ni nini? We don't even call it ata bread ya kukula yenyewe. We don't call it mkate anymore. Guys, let's just not filter. We say it as it is. Boobs ni boobs, menstrual cycle ni menstrual cycle. Pads ni pads, tampon ni tampon. Let's say penis ni penis, vagina ni vagina, ano ni ano. Like say it as it is. You can even demonstrate if the child is not understanding. Because that is the only way. That is the only way to save them. Then let's also work on communication. Let's teach our kids how to communicate. Again, you don't also go communicate to everyone. There's the right person to communicate to. We also need to teach them that, because again kuna wenye unaweza wafunza communicate and then you find that they're also giving secrets, family secrets out there. So let's also teach our kids how to communicate, to who and how and when. Let's also be close to our kids as much as possible. Let's give them that closure, because without closure again singekuwa hapa. Let's give them the closure that they need, so that when hata kama uko na stress atakuwa tu na hiyo courage ya mom, dad, can I talk to you? Yes, no. Let me finish with this call. I don't niambie this and this happened. How did it go? How did you react? Who else knows, so that you also know where to start with this case.
All in all, I just can't imagine how such a parent is feeling. I know they are blaming themselves. You see the family,
because of just one mistake.
One decision you made, and you thought you were doing it for the great and good, to just impress your child, to make them feel happy, to make them have friends. We can also not judge. And also our justice, Kenya justice in our preamble to the highest bidder. I don't know how we need to. I think the government has to have a whole 360 change. Number 3, I don't know, man. You know me, I'm traumatized. I know. Because I've been raped by a family member.
And nothing happened.
And I didn't even...
You became the problem. You became the problem. They became the victim. You became the problem. Yeah.
And nothing. And it was hid. So... And then there's this, you can do this, you communicate. Difference. Like when this problem creeps in, like there is no control to it. Like... You don't know how, no matter how much you do. Kama the child, the baby 9 years old, ama how old, mwenye alikuwa na trend juzi, alirepiwa, kakauliwa na kakotupwa juu ya mabati.
Niliona.
Let's pray. Let's bring back the prayerful parents. Let's bring up the parents that used to take their children to church every Sunday. Let's bring back the parents that used to dedicate prayers to their children. The grandmothers that used to hold their family in prayers, because the devil is at work. He has crept into the society. He's in the families, and he's destroying and killing everything. He's not choosing this is a child, this is a boy, this is a girl, this is a mother. He's not choosing who to destroy and kill. So I think the best thing you can do as a parent is dedicate your children to church. Cover them with prayers. Each time you wake up in the morning, pray for your children. Cover them with the blood of Jesus, or whatever your religion says. During the day when you're out there, just say a silent prayer to God. Akuprotectia watoto. In the evening, learn to pray together before eating, before going to bed, because
I think prayer is everything. Actually,
some of these things that are happening, I'm beginning to accept,
Yeah.
most of them they're spiritual.
Yeah.
There is, I think there's another realm of spirits that has opened, and it is eating the society
Yes.
away. Behaviors, morals, standards, zote hakuna squeezy. Hakuna squeezy. And that's why I'm saying, no matter how much care you take upon your family, shetani akiamlia leo ni siku yako. Nyako. I'm so sorry if you've ever gone through this. I'm so sorry if you've ever gone through sodomization, through rape. It's someone taking advantage of you, physical abuse, you know, there's nothing that can justify it. And if maybe you're a parent and your child has ever gone through this, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
I am so sorry. I can't even begin to imagine how you feel. Especially kwanza kwa kesi kama hii enye, maisha ya kila mtu kwa hiyo nyumba imechange.
Imechange because of just one decision, just one wrong move.
And you know that those are the kind of families wanasemanga hiyo hata marriage ilisha wako tu kama zombie. Because I can only imagine
kusaidiana, but it's not. You're all traumatized.
You're all traumatized.
Yeah.
And you see mtu amepelekwa therapy, doesn't work.
It's not working.
Yeye mwenyewe hata haja accept kinye ilimfanyikia ndio aweze kuheal. Wazazi wako oh God. I'm so sorry.
Wametumia everything to make sure that mtoto amekuwa justified, but still
hakuna.
Yeah. And so how many others are going through the same? How many? And they cannot speak up because they've been shut down. They cannot speak up because hawajiwezi. Wengine they are just afraid. Wengine they have been threatened up. Wengine their videos have gone viral. Wengine wametumiwa hata videos but wameamua tu wanyamaza because they are like, you see, tuko na video yako, jaribu uongee uone ikienda viral. Can you handle that?
God help us.
Can you handle that?
God help us. Please leave a comment down below. Yes. Like this video, subscribe for more. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
Man, I'm tired. Guy, nimechoka brain.
Unajaribu kufikiria all round.
And you know you're trying to get a solution.
Hakuna solution.
Like how can such a parent be helped? And how can such a child be helped? Like mtoto ni amount of ni therapy gani anaweza enda.
Najua hakuwezi, okay, hata kama ataenda therapy but hawezi pona haraka.
Hata sidhani anaweza ipona. Your life iko like changed forever.
But I'm sure, you know, sometimes when you post these videos, you never know ni askari mgani ama DCI mgani mwenye ako willing to help. Because if something like this is really happening out there, yeah, kuna DCI tu ataamua, you know what the hell.
Mataki Mungu atusaidie. Mungu atusaidie. Like kukuange tu na justice.
Because kuna DCI serious.
Kuna watu wanapenda kazi yao.
I have a DCI friend and he doesn't take